Okay, guys, it's getting colder out now, so I'm going to run a little experiment. Right now, inside of this truck, it's 48 degrees. Down there, it's 48. So it's just pretty much 48 degrees inside this truck. And we put that new heater core in this thing. And this truck does warm up, so I'm going to run a little experiment now and see how warm this truck can get after sitting for so long.
Me and the boys was sitting around drinking. We was talking about things that we was thinking, when all of a sudden what comes out of Bill's mouth? Said I'm getting old and fat and slow, and I don't recover like I did before from nights of rabble, rousing and too much fun. Well, I looked around and we all agreed, and I had a drink and I ordered three, and I staggered back to do it all again. Then we made an oath on a rum and coke with the best intention, I'm sure you know, that we would stop this living in excess. We're gonna have one more party, one more special occasion. Do it Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, holidays and weekends. We can have one more party. There's more hell we should be raising. One more party now, one more party tonight.
She don't want to run. Okay, I'm gonna try to back it out of the shed so I don't gas myself out way too much. Set the emergency brake. It's in neutral. Now it's finally idling at a high idle with the choke on. I'm going to run it down a little bit. But I want to get this thing to warm up. and then see how well this heater may or may not work. So I'm going to turn the heater on, turn the blower on low, and defroster off. And then we'll wait and see how long it takes for this truck to warm up. There we go, its needle's starting to move. Turn the choke off. There we go, now it's idling. Boy, that fan really is noisy. Let's turn it up and see what it's like. It sounds a lot better when it's not running at a low speed. Well, look at that. It's already up to 65 degrees. And the truck is starting to warm up here. So it's running a little better now that it ain't dead cold. The alternator is charging, so that's looking good. Don't have hardly any fuel in this thing. I think I put 3 gallons in it, you know, back, what was that, about 6 months ago. Well, right after I did that fuel tank. So I got the fuel line working. But now I want to see if this truck will actually warm up and warm up the inside of the truck. So we're sitting in here, and we'll see if this thing will actually get warm. What are we at now? Ooh, it's up to 79 degrees now. .53 inside the truck up here higher. .67 down on the floor where I'm blowing the air. Choke is completely off. Temperature is up to about a quarter of the way. Usually it sits and idles up there around the M. So we'll see how that goes. You know, maybe with this heater going, it'll probably not be quite as hot or just sitting, you know, because we do got some of that heat being pulled away by the heater core. And that's up to 93, 94 degrees now. 92, depending on where I put that. .70 over there. 62 on the side. It's starting to warm up in here. 88 degrees down here on the floor. It's getting pretty nice. Up here on top of the dash, 62 now. Over here where a speaker would be, 62. Way up here, 50s. Fingers are still a little cold in here. Truck's warming up a little bit. Okay, it's idled down all the way. It's actually warming up pretty nice in here. Now the heater box over here is getting close to 100 degrees. It's really pumping some heat. 96 down here on the floor. I'm going to try turning on the defroster and see if I can't get some heat coming up higher. Oh, I feel warm air blowing up here. It's not blowing very hard. Oh yeah, well, I guess it is. What's that temperature? 69? Up here on the dash. 67. I think I have a functional heater. Now it's finally warming up to about where it normally sits, right there in the middle of that M. And it idles pretty smooth. It just doesn't accelerate when you punch it. If you floor it, it stumbles. You gotta really ease into it, otherwise it'll fall flat on its face. Get it to idle back down again. Heater is sitting there at 105, 106 degrees. Really getting nice and warm. 110 on this side. 80, 90 on that side. Oh, okay, so that's the side that's on the inlet side. And that's the side that's on the outlet side of the heater core, if you remember when I put it in there. So this is really what's coming through the engine and into here. And it's warming up kind of nice in here. I wonder if I change this defroster to halfway, half floor, half up. We'll see what it does in here. Put a little heat down and put a little heat up, and then see how the whole truck will heat up. If you look over here, what do we got? 65 degrees up here higher, and way up on top where it's only one single layer, we're looking at 68. So it's really warming up quite nice in here. Over here by the glass, 64, 65. Quite good. This heater really works good. What about that outside wall that isn't getting any hardly any heat? 64, 65, 50 something. So we're really, yeah, this thing actually is heating up quite well. We've been sitting here, we've been playing around with this now for 12 minutes. Ooh, it's starting to get warm though, isn't it? Now that is way up at the P. Let's get the RPMs up a little bit, see if that fan... What comes down when the fan is spinning? I think this thing needs to be moving. I don't think it's going to work very well just sitting. You know, sitting at an idle isn't very good for it. But moving down the road, I think it'll do just fine. Cooling off, because I raised the RPM just a little bit, and then the temperature came down from the P to the M. Maybe that was the thermostat too. thermostat opened up, and then that's why it came down. But it's charging. Oil pressure light is off. Looking really good. All right, I think it's getting plenty warm in here now. I'm looking at like 90 degrees down on the floor. Dash is looking like 80 degrees. Yeah, it's pretty warm in here now. Definitely plenty of heat coming out of this thing. So I think this will work to do a lot of the playing around that we want to do in the spring. You know, maybe if I license it once the snow stops or the snow melts, I think we'll be at a good state. And well, there you have it, guys. That heater core that I put in a while back is working. So go check that video out. Talk to you guys later. So then you guys know that I put a heater or overflow tank in. Did it work? Let's go get a light and see. Is there water in there? Oh, there sure is. Might look a little rusty, but it is catching the overflow. So there you have it, guys. You can put an overflow tank on these old trucks.
Me and the boys was sitting around drinking, we was talking about things that we was thinking, when all of a sudden what comes out of Bill's mouth? Said I'm getting old and fighting slow, and I don't recover like I did before from nights of rabble, rousing and too much fun. Well, I looked around and we all agreed, and I had a drink and I ordered 3, and I staggered back to do it all again. Then we made an oath on a rum and coke with the best intention, I'm sure you know, that we would stop this living in excess.